Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here, I'm in public, and of course this is Taco Bell bag. There's my umbrella, there I am, and here we are. You know, I was going to go to Wendy's today and review a new sandwich of theirs. It was this chicken sandwich. Unfortunately, the sandwich, or actually the Wendy's itself, wasn't open. I figure it was closed for repairs, or just closed today because I didn't actually feel about doing anything perhaps. But nonetheless, you can see here I got this decently sized drink. I think you can actually see the water line right there. And you know, it's a Dr. Pepper, of course, a common drink. But it was an interesting observation that I made from attaining this. You know, you can see I haven't really made too much work in it. I've been sitting here now for about 20 minutes. Got 3 tacos here with some fire sauce, and you know, I ate them leisurely, and I got this. But it's interesting when I consider when people say they aren't thinking, and let me elaborate here. Normally when I ever get something to eat at one of these places, I never get a drink. There's no reason to. I figure for me, you know, normally I could handle spice pretty well. If I get a drink, it'll be water. And then usually that's that. But getting a drink, especially one of this size, is very uncommon for me. For me, it's oftentimes a lot of, you know, just excess calories, and, you know, sometimes I am feeling peckish and I'll get a drink, but otherwise I won't. Now, nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, last night I had desired to review this, you know, that chicken sandwich from Wendy's. And I had been under the present assumption that it was going to be a, you know, a spicier sandwich, and therefore beverage would be necessary, if not essential. Similar to the Burger King sandwich, of course, it featured a real collage of spices. It, you know, featured jalapenos, a special blend, a special type of cheese and sauce, and even, I think, some sort of spice baked into the bun itself. So nonetheless, I figured, well, it would be necessary in order to have some sort of drink on hand. It would be perhaps unusual, perhaps even unorthodox, given what I normally do. But nonetheless, I figure it'd be, you know, prepared to be going in there, you know, correctly with a drink, so that I'm not left on the spot with an item that perhaps is actually too hot. So that's the logic that I used when going into it. So I went to the Wendy's. I was going to get this sandwich and a drink. I was preferably going to get a Dr. Pepper or a Coke or something, because usually the water from these taps isn't always the best. So I went there, but found the place to be closed. And I said, well, I came all the way up here for nothing. Let me go to Taco Bell and get some tacos. I know people say stuff about Taco Bell, but let's face it, sometimes when you're in the mood for a taco, it can actually be quite good. So I went and got my tacos, three tacos, just my usual. It's what I always get with fire sauce. But then I said, no, I'll get a drink too. I'll get a large Dr. Pepper. We'll just make it a meal, and I'll get a large Dr. Pepper. Well, why did I do that? You know, what caused me to do that? I never order drinks from Taco Bell, yet today I decided to do that. And that's what I call, and what other people call as well, not thinking. Simply put, in my mind, and ingrained that, well, today I would get a drink with this meal because it was to be hot. It was part of the routine which I had programmed in myself last night. I said, well, I'm going to go here, I'm going to get this sandwich, I'm going to get a drink with it because it's spicy. I'm going to sit there, I'm going to review it, and that will be my day. But part of that alleged routine was thrown off balance. Therefore, though, not the entire thing was collapsed. Only parts of it. So, you take the sandwich out of the equation. Since I'm still programmed into it as a routine, I still figured, well, I'm going to get this drink because the sandwich is supposed to be hot. Even though the sandwich wasn't there anymore, that was my logic. So I went ahead and I got this drink, sat down, didn't even think anything of it until I began eating my meal and looking upon it and saying, well, why did I get this drink? There's no need, I never get a drink, and I'm stuck with this. That's because I wasn't thinking, ladies and gentlemen. And oftentimes that not thinking, as people say for it to be, is not necessarily not you thinking, it's simply your routine just doing what it does naturally, with, you know, being thrown off course. And it could be done in many other ways. Of course, getting a drink when you don't need one is a very simple way, but there are instances where it can happen in much more different contexts and scales. And I only bring this up because I actually read a story the other night regarding the said routine. Mostly due to the fact regarding the exact same thing, where one person has a routine, they're thrown off balance for one reason or another, but the routine supposedly continues on as they had intended for it to do. But it has very sinister consequences. If you're curious, I'll link the story to you all. But that's what I have, and that's what I was thinking about, and I thought today this is a very interesting example of it. And you know, that's all that I have for you. But I thought it was an interesting example. It can happen to anyone, happens to all of us all the time, every single day. And this is just a noticeable example that I thought I'd share with you. And I just thought it's interesting. No matter what, the routine always continues usually, and sometimes you end up with useless crap because of it, like this drink. I mean, if anyone wants it, go into the highest bidder, and that's what we got. That's all I have for you. Take care.